Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kelly Swoop. A little over a year after the University of Maryland essentially shut down Greek life for 2 weeks, a federal judge has ruled on whether it was constitutional. WMAR2 News' Elizabeth Worthington joins us now to explain why the case was dismissed and what the fraternities that sued are saying about it tonight. Elizabeth?
Yeah, Kelly, well, both sides are actually claiming victory. The university got the lawsuit thrown out, but the Greek life organizations say they got their message across.
As the song goes, you've got to fight for your right to party. But attorneys for fraternities and sororities at the University of Maryland say they were fighting for a lot more than that. They were fighting to protect students' rights.
We were not, and students were not just going to stand by if other institutions did this.
Rewind all the way back to last March, when the university temporarily shut down nearly all Greek life activity and issued a no-contact order between current members and pledges. This came after serious hazing allegations at several fraternities, an uptick in visits to the campus health and counseling center by Greek life members, and 2 sorority pledges being taken to the hospital for drinking too much. School officials said the blanket suspension was necessary to keep students safe while they investigated. Wynn Smiley, spokesperson for the Fraternity Forward Coalition, says not only was this an overreaction, it was constitutional overreach. 4 fraternities filed a lawsuit against top university administrators, saying their rights to free speech and free association had been violated.
We work all the time with host institutions that get reports of hazing, and we very quickly, typically, can get to the bottom of whatever is happening without having to suspend an entire system. And we offered that to the university initially, and they had no interest in doing that.
Instead, the university hired an outside consulting firm to conduct more than 175 interviews with students. Attorneys for the frats sounded the alarm, saying investigators were searching students' cell phones and weren't allowing them to have a lawyer present. The university denied those claims.
The interesting thing in this case is even after the investigation, even after the dragnet of bringing hundreds of students in for individual interrogations, none of the initial rumors had any merit.
2 days after the lawsuit was filed, the Greek life suspension was lifted. But the frats' attorneys didn't drop their suit. Sorority members even joined in too. They wanted a judge to formally declare that the university's actions were unconstitutional, to prevent something similar from happening again. Fast forward to now, the judge has instead dismissed the case as moot, saying it's highly unlikely that the, quote, storm of events that prompted the order will reoccur.
The judge could have said, well, the university has every right to do exactly what they did. She didn't say that. She simply said, well, the plaintiffs have already gotten what they asked for. So, and the university has indicated they're not going to do anything like that again. So I think that there's no reason to go forward, right? So we see that as a victory as well.
But Smiley and attorneys for the Greek organizations had previously made the argument that the university was publicly celebrating its decision to suspend Greek life, so they had every reason to fear it happening again. A top university official stating in an interview that they were, quote, going to set a model for what universities can and should do when they learn about allegations. Smiley is now optimistic that this isn't the case.
We've gotten feedback from enough universities across the country that they have no intention of adopting this as any kind of a model.
And for the school's part, UMD tells WMAR2 News that it is pleased with the ruling.
So, Elizabeth, it sounds like the school says it's working on making some changes.
Yeah, because they say that, after last year's investigation, it did bring about some health and safety concerns. So they've created what's called the Fraternity and Sorority Transformation Initiative, basically just creating some working groups and an advisory board made up of students and staff and alumni to address some of those concerns.
All right, thanks a lot. Good report.